A large print version of the Seder. We do have a few more copies. Otherwise, we're going to be projecting on the wall behind me. And if you are in an obstructed view seat, feel free to move at any time during the Shabbat service so that you can see better for your safety. So Shabbat Shalom. I think I need to be also reminded that there are people who are joining us through the blessing of technology. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And happy Tu Bishvat, the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Shabbat, when we celebrate the trees. Sometimes we call it the birthday of the trees. And so tonight's service is going to be very interactive. If you're joining us through the blessing of technology and you want to grab for yourself for later 3 kinds of fruit, a piece of fruit that has an exterior, something that has a pit in the middle, or something that's entirely edible, feel free to have that. You'll be able to interact as much as everyone here in person. So we're delighted that some representatives of our Children's Habonim Choir are here tonight, and they are going to help us by leading us in song. Harlan?
So this is where you're with that? And this is completely interactive, so if you don't know the song, don't worry. I'll sing, you respond, and they're going to sing with you, so they'll help you get going. Can I have a key? Ready? Just plant a seed.
Just plant a seed.
And watch it grow.
And watch it grow.
Into a tree.
Into a tree.
From the ground we sow.
From the ground we sow.
Trees give us fruit.
Trees give us fruit.
Trees give us shade.
Trees give us shade.
Let's celebrate.
Let's celebrate.
It's Tu Bishvat.
It's Tu Bishvat.
It's Tu Bishvat. Yeah, we like trees a lot. It's Chaim. Happy birthday to the trees. It's Tu Bishvat. Yeah, we like trees a lot. It's Chaim. Happy birthday to the trees.
And so we continue. We continue with the lighting and blessing of our candles. So I invite Stacy Sulzberg to come forward and lead us in our lighting of our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu b'chag ner shel Shabbat.
So you might be asking, well, why don't we do Kiddush? We are going to be doing Kiddush a few times this evening, and so we will say it at those various places in the service. In the mid-1500s of Sfat in Israel, Kabbalistic Rabbi Isaac Luria's students celebrated a special way of celebrating the holiday of Tu Bishvat with a Tu Bishvat Seder, like a Passover Seder. It includes eating symbolic foods. In the case of Tu Bishvat, our holiday of the trees, the food that we eat at the Seder is that which comes from trees. Rabbi Luria's students saw the Seder as an opportunity to restore their spiritual connection with the four worlds of the Kabbalah. And these four worlds will guide us in connection to the various fruits we eat on Tu Bishvat. These worlds are known from bottom to top as Asiya, that's the green, Yetzirah, and Asiya is action. At the lowest, Yetzirah, which is blue, which is the next one up, formation. Bari'ah, which is creation, and that's the yellow. And then at the top is Atzilut. That's a little bit more difficult to read. That's nobility. And so as we're able, we rise in body and spirit as our youth choir comes forward to lead us in Baruch Hu. A father wanted to teach his 4 children a lesson. So he sent them all out to see, what else? A mango tree. The eldest he sent in the winter. In the spring he sent the next. In the summer, the 3rd child made the trip. And in the fall, the youngest child went. And once all the children had been to see the tree, the father called them together and he asked them to describe it. The first child said that the tree looked like a burnt and barren stump. The second child disagreed and went on to describe wonderful green foliage. The third child told them of the colorful blossoms, while the fourth child declared that the other 3 were wrong. This child spoke of the oval fruit. To all this, the father replied that each child was right. Each child was right, as each of them had seen the same tree in a different season. So what lesson do you think it was that the father was trying to teach his children? I invite you, you may have studied this passage in the past, maybe last year, but that's okay because we grow and things happen in our lives and experience different things in our lives. And we might be sitting around the table with different people. So I invite you at each table to take a moment and ask, what lesson do you think it was that the father was trying to teach his children? joining us through the blessing of technology, you might ask the other people in the chat, or write in the chat what you think it is that the Father was trying to teach his children.
I'm waiting for Jess.
Right. Growing pains. Yeah.
So let's hear from two different voices from two different tables. Perhaps what you heard about that you thought that was an insightful or interesting answer. It can be your own voice or it can be something else you heard from someone else. Stacy.
Just because somebody doesn't see something the same way you see something, doesn't mean that either of you are wrong.
Just because somebody sees something in a different way that you see it doesn't mean that either of you are wrong. Thank you. Somebody have a different answer than that?
Represents different stages of our life, from birth through seeing, working, and seeing the fruits of our labors.
So seeing this tree in different stages in life is a reflection of our own growth. Seeing different stages of our own life and the fruits of our labor. I love this. I always learn more every year. Thank you. So as we're able, we join together. Are the beginning having the Haboni choir come on back, leading us in Bikamoka. As we're able, we rise in body and spirit for tefillah.
Adonai sifataticha ufiagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham,
be seated and to reflect on your own silent prayer. You might look at this particular photo. If you can see it, it's hard, it's kind of faded, of trees. Or you might think perhaps of maybe a favorite tree you had sometime in your life, or a place that you went that was filled with trees. Or you might pray anything else, those meditations and thoughts in our hearts. We turn our thoughts and prayers now to those who are in need of healing. And so I would invite, for those of you who are joining us through the blessing of technology, if there's those whom you're thinking of who are in need of healing, you can add their names to the chat at this time, whether it's a healing of body or mind or spirit. And I share with you the names of these people in our extended Addith Emanuel family who are in need of healing. Edward Capral, Jamie Oken, Bob Levine, Diane Singer, Barbara Savage, Ava Mack, Bruce Tresky, Cheryl Adeloff, Alice Oppenheimer, Dolores Gross, Zev Kane, Tristan Sheehan, Renee Capucci, Aida Velez, Terry Bittman, Jill Cullen, David Ebb, Jocelyn Jackson, Elaine Stein, Ethan Cheskis, Moshe Ben Chenoch Shoshana, Mary Lou Salvador, Chris Cheney, Philip Lutz, Jerry Dreskin, Yochanan Ben Yehudit, Merrill Green, Joe Wright, Libby Barsky, Malcolm Fletcher, Ellen Bertuglia, Mindy Fisher, Harry Greenberg, Nick Baud, Deb Nielsen, Moshe Ben Elizabeth de Theodore, Jennifer Ness, Harriet Eisner, Chaim Ben David, Hugh Morton, Art Vaughn, Roberta Levine, Jordan Steinberg, Jeff Schaefer, Michael Infanti, Gary Garnick, Rick Ulrich, Ileana Cohen. And if you're here in person at Addith Emanuel and you're thinking of someone who's in need of healing, I invite you, if you want, to mention those names aloud as my hand passes through the congregation.
Susan Harnish.
Dale Wills.
Irene Lynn.
Robin Golds.
Lisa Carl.
Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim.
And a special refuah shlema to all of our youth choir members who are sick this week.
The four seasons connect us to the 4 cups of wine and grape juice that we include at our Tu Bishvat Seder. And we have them represented in those 4 quadrants. Do you have a favorite season? Perhaps you do. Turn to somebody at your table and share what is your favorite season and why is that your favorite season. And so if you're joining us through technology and you would like to add to that, what is your favorite season? Why that is your favorite season?
That is beautiful.
Do you have a favorite season? Sneak skiing. Yeah. Which are you? He says, winter skiing.
Yeah.
I like the change.
I'm selfish. He says because it's good for all of us.
Say, oh, I'm living with, sometimes it sounds beautiful all year round. I really enjoy the fact that in a sense, I like some of my sweaters and I like some of my summer shorts. I like there's a rhythm. What?
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
But,
Right.
yeah. But I wouldn't want to live there. I think I like the right.
So we come from 4 changes, there's like, where, across the street from where that was on
You're what?
Did you know Harry? Oh, it's perfect. I did, yeah, because I did not realize I know I talked to her. I didn't realize that I was thinking that you're the VP of and totally was oblivious to me.
All right, how many people had their favorite season was what we're experiencing now, winter? Okay. You people. How many people are spring, winter spring? Got some spring folks here. All right, any summers?
Yes.
Summers. Okay, and fall. Anyone fall? Yeah. I didn't give a favorite. I said I liked the change. I like that I live in a climate where there is a change from one to the next. All right, so winter, remember we said this represented by the different cups of wine and grape juice? So I invite you right now to fill a cup, and what's nice about these cups is they're not transparent, but they're translucent. So we're going to fill our cups with the all white.
Oh, all white.
All white.
Oh, sorry, I'm too anxious. I'm too excited. They don't say winter red.
As we drink this first cup of wine or grape juice, which is white, we remember that nature has been asleep, awaiting warmer weather and the annual cycle of the earth of growing matter. And I see definite examples of that outside. You know, the dormant grass, the trees that have no leaves on them. Probably could think of some others. And so this is the first of our 4 cups of wine. Sounds like another Seder, right? Okay, or grape juice. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim. Mayim. We also have on our table mayim, water. We could not survive in this world. Human beings, animals, plants, were it not for mayim. And so our Habonim youth choir is going to not only sing for us, but also share in this very classical Israeli dance.
So if there's anyone here, I know there are a few of you who like Israeli dancing. So if there's any of you who would like to join us for the Mayim Circle Dance, we invite you to join us over there. And I apologize for the lack of mics, but hopefully you'll be able to join us in the singing as well. And again, if you'd like to join us for Mayim, you're welcome to come and dance with us.
So now we're looking at our first level of fruit, the Asiya level, the world of action. Asiya represents the physical world around us. In this, the lowest world, there is the greatest need for protection. In order to find the sweetness within this world, a protective shell must be removed. The fruits that are representative of this level have an inedible outer shell. As humans, we develop our own shells as a protection against evil. We must work constantly to remove the shells of negative experience in order to experience the true goodness of life. And so, what are some examples of aceia, tree fruits, that have an outer shell? The key note here is tree fruit. So I see some people have not just raised their hands, they've raised the actual fruit. I see some bananas, some clementines. What else is not in this room, perhaps? So we have the entire citrus family, right? The oranges, the clementines, lemons, grapefruits, bananas. What else? Pineapple. So we have to remove the exterior of the pineapple in order to eat the inside. Samuel. Coconut. Dragon fruit. I have yet to have a successful dragon fruit experience. I guess I need to know when to buy it and how long to wait before it's ripe. Have you had dragon fruit before? Is it tasty? Yes, okay. You'll have to teach me afterward. Any other? Kiwi. Watermelon. And? Pomegranate. And I also heard kiwi. Kiwi. I agree with you. Somebody from New Zealand might not. I hear they eat the whole kiwi. Yeah. So pomegranates, almonds. So nuts that grow on trees. So you would remove the almonds, pecans, and banana. And so we turn now to one of our fruits that we may have taken that has that exterior, which we have to remove. And let's join together in the blessing, which ends Borei Peri Ha'etz. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Peri Ha'etz. I need to repeat that for those of you who didn't hear that comment. I ate my banana. No, people who are doing blessing technology can't hear. No, that's why I said. No, I'm repeating your wit, so people who didn't hear it can enjoy it as well. And a little bit of music while we're eating that fruit. This is the almond blossom. Is the first fruit to blossom in. And so now we move to spring. This is the scientific part of the Seder, for those of you who are chemists and like to mix. We want to turn our winter white glass. Now, if you've drunk the whole thing, you're going to have to put a lot more white back in. So we just want a little bit, just a tad of the purple to make it a light pink. Because as you can imagine, as we go forth with each season, we're going to then have a darker pink, and then we will have the full purple. So, just a tad of pink. Red. Yeah. Little down upon the earth and thaw the frozen ground. With the coming of spring, we see the budding of flowers as color peeks out of the trees. Anybody have any flowers blossoming yet around you? Daffodils, do you have daffodils that are starting? The sprouts are coming up. Okay, nothing, yes, Beverly, but
Every time it's been warm, my rhododendrons start to pop. And then it gets cold and they
right, so that it's so interesting to watch the rhythm of nature as something like your rhododendrons are responding to the increase of the warmth and then drawing back as it gets cold again. So we join in the spring kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. And so now we're moving up another level in our tree of life as we move from Asiya, the world of action, to Yitzirah, the world of formation. Yitzirah characterizes the ideal version of our world. In this world, protection remains necessary, but only around the heart. Fruits with an edible exterior, but an inedible pit, are symbolic of this realm of creation. The person associated with this level has much to offer and is approachable. At the same time, there is some hardness in the heart, perhaps manifesting itself as a lack of being able to give of the self. Yet, if the pit is removed from the fruit and replanted, it can grow into a new tree. So, what are some Yitzirah tree fruits that have an inside pit? You're holding up, can you say what that is? Peaches, okay? Peaches. And dates, plums, apricots.
Cherries.
Well, apples are actually in a different category. Save that for when I ask what's entirely edible fruit. Dates, olives. So the orange is the one that had the outside. Now we're looking for pit. Think of difference between, it's not seeds, it's pit. Like, what? Cherries. Quick story about cherries. When I first moved to Israel and we decided to have a potluck Shabbat dinner, I said, I'll make a kugel. And I made kugel with raisins. So I went to the store and I, kind of new to Israel, didn't really read the words on the package. I just saw the saran wrap over this dark, dried, beautiful fruit. So those were the raisins. My roommate says, Amy, would you please wash the raisins before you put it in the kugel? Because we were told, with all the pesticides, we should wash all the fruit before we do. I said, okay, fine. So I washed the raisins in the strainer and I decided to take one and put it in my mouth and it had a pit in it. Duvdanim are cherries, and if I had read that and known what it was, instead of just looked at this beautiful dark plum, dried up fruit. By the way, I did not put the cherries in with the pits in them in the cooker. Okay. So what do we have here? We have dates, we have olives, we have apricots. Do you know what the olive said when it fell out of the tree? Olive. In case there are pits in the dates, just be careful, or if you want to open up your peaches and join together in the blessing before we eat those fruit from the Yitzirah tree. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz.
The date. I thought the dates have a lot of nutritional value.
Boy, I haven't had a date in a year.
Oh, but you pick dates though. You pick dates though. Yeah, that's okay.
And while we're eating and enjoying our fruits with the pit in the middle, we invite Habonim Choir to sing a favorite tune, Golly Golly.
You want them to be able to see you, right? Yeah. All right.
It's true.
And so we move on to the summer month. The summer rolls around, the blossoms of the spring disappear, the fruit begins to bud as the green leaves grow full, and our cup grows richer in color, but not quite all the way. So I would say add just a tad more, or if you need to fill your cup up again, put some more of the white in, and add just a tad more of that purple.
Perfect.
So it's a little darker, but not quite all the way that purple for summer.
Not quite a cat, so more like a piece of.
So I think we've gone from white wine to Zinfandel maybe, to rosé, and that's where we are right now. Please join me in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. And so now we're at Briah, the third level up in yellow. This is the world of creation. You know the first few words of the Torah are Bereshit bara Elohim. Bereshit in the beginning, bara created. Elohim, God created. So this is the world of Briah. Is a level that is closest to pure emanation, where no protection is needed. Fruits that are entirely edible are illustrative of this level. The ideal person, who would, of course, represent this nearly perfect world, is one who harbors no undesirable bitterness of spirit or of action. And so, what are some of the Briah tree fruits that are entirely edible? A grape. Yes. An apple. Has anybody ever eaten an apple entirely, including the core and the pits? You can eat the seeds. You won't grow an apple tree inside of you unless you keep your mouth open and let the sunshine. Okay, what other fruits? Tree fruits. So sometimes people say berries like strawberries and blueberries might grow on a bush tree, but what other tree fruits are entirely edible? We have pears, I heard.
A fig.
A fig. Peaches have a pit, I heard.
Figures.
Figures. Tomato. Right, because the difference between wisdom and knowledge is that a tomato is a fruit. right? It grows on a plant, not a tree. And the wisdom is not to put it in fruit salad. So we have the fig. Does anybody know what fruit that is?
Oh yeah, it's carob.
It's carob. And yet, I learned growing up it was called boxer. Boxer. You can actually eat all of it, even the seeds. And some people will tell you that it's a good imitation for chocolate. Wrong. But you can, if you don't want to eat chocolate, you can substitute carrot chips for chocolate and grapes. And so I invite you to find on your plate that fruit which is entirely edible as we join together in the blessing for fruit. Borei Pri Ha'etz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Pri Ha'etz. Here's another song while we eat our entirely edible fruit. This comes from Psalms. As we turn now to our last season that we've been going around and round, and that is fall. And you can see that the color of the wine or grape juice in this glass is the full dark color. So if you would take the purple, the red, and just make that darker than you've had so far.
It'll work.
So with the fall, the fruit of the tree ripens to its fullest. We drink this darkest cup of red, wine or grape juice, with thanks for the richness of God's earth. And when you think about it, have you ever seen that soil that's really dark and rich, and you're hoping to grow something, whether you've potted a plant or you've planted a garden, and you've had that rich, dark color, you can get an idea of this is reflective of that kind of soil. So we join together in our last Kiddush, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. So we're now at the next level in this tree of life. And we say, wait, we've gotten all 4 seasons, we've eaten all the different kinds of fruit on our plate, so what is this? So this last level, Atzilut, the highest one up, the red, is one of no matter or form. It's the stage at which God's energy is fully emanated into the universe. No fruit can represent this level, nor can any human. However, this level serves as a constant reminder to us of the source of our existence and of our true potential. The only being that has ever lived who can be associated with this realm is known as Adam Kadmon, who was first created person, who was male and female, balanced and lived in the Garden of Eden. On Tu Bishvat, we are reminded of our responsibility to bring about Tikkun Olam, the spiritual and physical repair of the world, and making Tikkun, correction, repair, within ourselves. So it's not just about Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, there's also Tikkuning, the corrections and the repairs in ourselves. And so we turn our thoughts and prayers now to those who are no longer with us. And if you're joining us through the blessing of technology and you're thinking of those who are no longer with us and want to add their names to the chat at this time, please feel free to do so. We are thinking in our extended Adif Emmanuel family of those people we've loved and lost. We're remembering during this period of Shiva, Elaine Moskowitz, wife of the late Leonard Moskowitz, dear companion of David Malamet, mother of Lanny, Rini, grandmother of Ian and Julia, Eric and Sarah and Cass, great-grandmother of Adam. And we also think of those who died in the season in years past, whose yard sites we observe on the Shabbats. Pearl Kardonic, Lena Duchovny, Mark Dowse, Max Eisner, Carl Goldman, Leon Goldman, Saul Grossman, George Kadushin, Nettie Kaplan, Mary Kennedy, Israel Krantz, Teresa Levine, William J. Monick Jr., Theodore N. Oppenheimer, Sadie Pepper, Harry Raghavan, Shirley Tenenbaum, Misha Zach. And if you're here in person at Adif Emmanuel and want to mention aloud a name that has yet to be mentioned, I invite you to say those names aloud as my hand passes through the congregation.
Mark. Donald Walter.
Andy Morgan.
Adele Bates.
I invite those who are now in the period of Shiva and Shloshim, the first day, 7 days, the first 30 days, and also in the first year of mourning, as you're able to rise in body and spirit. And if you are here tonight observing a yard site for a loved one, I invite you to rise at this time. And as one congregation, we rise in support and comfort for those who are already standing. As we continue now with words of mourners Kaddish. Yit yadal yishdash ne'rava, v'yalmad yirach yutei yamlik malchutei, v'chaye hom yomei hom, v'chaye tefol beit Yisrael, v'adalah v'zman karim v'yiru amen. Yehei shnei rava v'barach le'olam u'le'olayam, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitatar Shirata, Tushbachata, Menechamata, Damiran Yama Bihru Amen, Yehe Shlama Rabba Bishmaya, Dechaim Aleinu Vel Kol Yisrael, Bihru Amen. Shalom Bimromav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Vel Kol Yisrael, Bihru Amen. May the one who makes peace on high let peace descend on us, on all Israel, and all the world. And let us say, Amen. May be seated. And it's my pleasure to invite our synagogue president, Doug Richter, to come forward and share with us some hoda'ot, some announcements.
It's on.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay? Yes. Okay. Thank you for joining us tonight, both in person and online. Thank you, Rabbi, Cantor Sandy, Lucas, and the youth choir for making tonight's service so interesting and enjoyable. Tomorrow we have Torah Talk and Bagels at 8:45, followed by Inclusion Shabbat service at 10 o'clock with a Kiddush luncheon afterward. Sunday at 9 a.m. is a men's club brunch featuring Rabbi Richard Address speaking about the linkage between Judaism and medicine. There's supposed to be a little snow tomorrow in the afternoon, but I think it's supposed to turn up to rain, so I think we're okay for Sunday. The Ritual Committee is still looking for people interested in chanting Torah at various services throughout the year. Please contact Orly Boudet if you're interested in doing this. Mishloach Menut, the religious school fundraiser, is in full swing now, so check the weekly email or contact the office if you want to participate in that. Also, the Spread the Love food drive is in progress, so please bring cookies and snack cakes and similar items to Shabbat services or place them in the social action bin near the office. And last, we have some save the dates. Saturday, March 1st it's a Saturday morning, Shabbat Zahav, or the Golden Shabbat, to honor our seniors. There will also be a Kiddush luncheon after that service, so please RSVP to the office if you plan to attend this special event, so we'll have enough food for everybody. And on March 16th is our family bowling day to raise money for our endowment fund while having a great time. So RSVP by next Thursday, or this coming Thursday. If you can check the weekly emails for the RSVP email. And if you RSVP by that date, you'll be guaranteed to get one of the commemorative t-shirts. And I think that's it I have for the announcements. Keep checking the weekly emails and our website for more events that are happening in the coming weeks and months. And Shabbat Shalom.
Also, a special thank you to Perry, who helped set up all this technology and enables those who are watching remotely to be with us tonight. Also, a special thank you to Stacy Salzberg and her team of the Ritual Committee who set everything up and had it all ready to go when we walked in. So, Toda Rabah.
Can I throw out?
And so we'll learn who those folks are.
Yes, Helen, and Orly, and Larry, and Judy, and Bruce Grossman, who was not able to stick around.
Thank you, Toda Rabah.
All of
Everybody get your little shovels, let's go.
shine.